Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Call Halal Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Bashim Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. I want to salute my brothers, YSO, Yahweh Shah, Sanctified Ones out of Nashville, Tennessee. I also want to salute the men, women, and children that's coming into the fold of this beautiful truth. Um, in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Yahweh mean he is. By Hashem, in the name of Yahweh Shah, he's our deliverer, our savior, in which people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. But the real name of the Messiah is Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. And, that's just what it is. Also want to let the brothers and sisters know that they are from the 12 tribe of Israel. If you consist of these nationalities, which are the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Hispanic, also I want to include the speckled birds, in which you are who your father is. So you may come in looking like a heathen, but you have the bloodline of the father. So there'll be some that look like other heathens, man. And so I have to get that a point from week in and week out, because you see it on a daily, or just see it, through movies or whatever. You can go back and go look and see who's the father of some of these actors and actors, or basketball players, whatever, man. I'm not going to continue to go into it heavy. I want to go into the lesson. So as I said, man, you from the 12 tribe of Israel, from Judah all the way down to Issachar, and Judah being the head, and then all the way down to Issachar. And so you are the so-called Israelites, Negroes, Native Americans, Hispanics, and the speckled birds. I want to go into this lesson. I was just thinking about it over a picture I saw. It was about King David, and it was a beautiful story. So what I'm gonna do is read, and maybe I will stop on some of the key points, but I'm hoping to get this lesson within 30 minutes. But if not, bear with me. If not, you want to know about these stories, because basically it's all about knowing your heritage, man. Knowing who you are, knowing what your customs are. So in this story right here, it'll kind of show you King David in distress, but by having faith in the Most High, he was able to, well, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. So this is well, it's like my lesson is we, meaning the hopeful elect, the 144,000, are coming for our wives, and I want to say that again. We, the hopeful elect, are coming for our wives, because the Edomites, which that's what means. We get, they do a lot to our videos by saying the name, but you just gotta edify. So Esau took away the wives of us. He was the wife, or the woman of wisdom, because we don't know, we just now getting the doctrine back to us, man. Also, our heritage, our customs, our land. So all we saying is that, what I mean by we the hopeful elect, are coming for our wives, because we coming back into our heritage, and then we're coming back to what we're accustomed to having, man. And you'll see in this story, King David had two wives. But I'm not gonna prolong, this story. I'm just gonna continue to read. And this is 1 Samuel chapter 30. Now when David and his men came to Ziklag on the third day, the Amalekites. I meant to tell you and start. So I'm gonna click on some of these icons. I'm gonna show you some of these locations, such as Ziklag. They'll show you like a little tab to show you about where it is. And this is Esau's app. So hopefully we always say eat the meat and spit out the bone. So hopefully this is as accurate as we can get it. But I'm telling the story as showing you where the location is. So let me start from the top. Now when David and his men came to Ziklag on the third day, the Amalekites, let's see what the Amalekites, right beside it, had made a raid against the Negeb and against Ziklag. So then Amalek took over Ziklag and Negeb. It's like in Negeb. And let me see what Negeb is. So I'm gonna highlight it a little higher. But you see Negeb in comparison to Ziklag. But I'm gonna continue. I don't want to be so much into the out, but you can see the location of where we are in this story. So they went against Negeb and against Ziklag, and they overcome Ziklag and burned it with fire, and taking captive the women and all who were in it, both small and great. They killed no one, but carried them off and went their way. And when David and his men came to the city, they found it burned with fire, and their wives and sons and daughters take captive. Then David and the people who were with him raised their voices and wept until they had no more strength to weep. So he just came back and saw that, hey man, his people was gone. Verse 5, David, 2 wives also had been taken captive. Anoam, and Jezreel, and Abigail, the widow of the Nabal of Carmel. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spoke of a strong slacky. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spoke of stoning him, because all the people were bitter in soul, each for his sons and daughters. But David strengthened himself in the Lord Yahweh, his power. So this is a time where, and that's what Israel always normally do, man. They go against the leaders of Israel. As this time was King David, when things go wrong. And my brother and I was talking about this, and that's why I wanted to do this video, because sometimes leaders in this truth sometimes got to take what they don't deserve. Because, hey, even the Most High said they don't even want to listen to me, because our people are stiff-necked. But, now their family is gone. But going to verse 7, I don't want to tell the story. I just want to continue to read. And David said to Abiathar, the priest, the son of Amalek, bring me the ephod. So that was kind of like a little vest. I did some research on a little vest that the priest used to wear. So Abiathar brought the the Ephod, and Shalaki if I don't get that enunciation correctly, but Ephod to David, and David inquired of the Lord Yahweh, and that's when he inquired. He prayed to the Most High. Shall I pursue after this band? Woo! Hey, he said, should I pursue after the band? Shall I overtake them? And he said, he answered him, pursue. Hey, the Most High said, pursue, man. And that's that interaction you had back in the day with the Most High. You know, that one-on-one. He answered him, pursue, for ye shall surely overtake and shall surely rescue. So David set out, and the 600 men who were with him, and they came to the brook Bezer, where those were where those who were left behind stayed. So there were some men that didn't make it, you know. But David pursued. So David had that. Hey man, he was determined. He was determined to go get his wives and his people. He and 400 men, him and 200 stayed behind, who were too exhausted to cross the brook Bezer. And that's why I was telling, my brothers, man, we was going like, man, hey, some men gonna be exhausted, man. But hey, we still gotta proceed or pursue, and hopefully we're the one to continue to pursue, because this work got to continue to work. I'm new to this, so I'm kind of, I got a little more energy than a brother might have been in here for 10 or 15 years. It might be tired, man. It's time for the younger brothers to step up. All right, verse 11. They found an Egyptian in the open country and brought him to David. And they gave him bread and he ate. They gave him water to drink, and they gave him a piece of cake of figs and 2 clusters of raisins. And when he had eaten, his spirit revived, for he had not eaten bread or drunk water for 3 days and 3 nights. And David said to him, to whom do you belong? And where are you from? He said, I am a young man of Egypt, servant to the Amalekites. That's the Amalekite location down there, man. And he'll continue. And my master left me behind because I fell sick 3 days ago. We had made a raid against the Negev and the Cherethites, and against that which belonged to Judah, and against the Neeg and Caleb, and we burned Ziklag with fire. So he just told on himself, man. He just told, he was with him. So David knew who he was. And watch what happened. And David said to him, will you take me down to this band? And he said, swear to me by the Most High that you will not kill me or deliver me into the hands of my master, and I will take you down to this band. And that's what we get to now, man. This story is a little bit of everything that was just get ready to go on, man. We trying to get what is Esau doing? A lot of Edomites are telling on their own people, man, because it was already prophesied that they would tell on themselves and they would go against each other, Egypt versus Egypt. And so this is kind of like a story going into, how they're going to go at this end, Verse 16. And when he had taken him down, behold, they were spread abroad over all the land, eating and drinking. Hey, what are they doing now? Eating and drinking and dancing. Hey, Esau was eating, drinking, and dancing. The same, just like they was back in the days, man. Eating, drinking, and dancing. because of all the great spoil they have taken from the land of the Philistine and from the land of Judah. And David struck them down from the twilight until the evening of the next day, man. So they was fighting and bobbling, man. I mean, just imagine you got all the energy you got to have, man, from twilight until the evening of the next day, man. Hey, the men had power back then. The Most High gave them power, and that's what us men and the Lord are trying to get to. That hopeful elect. That's why I named it E. We the hopeful elect are coming for our wives, man. And that's what David was doing, man. And his people. We're coming for you, man. And that's what look at the power that the Most High gave him. Struck them down from twilight until the evening of the next day, and not a man of them escaped, except 400 young men who mounted camels and fled. So them 400 men, hey, they got out of there, man. David recovered all that the Amalek has taken. So that's beautiful. Everything that they taken, hey, David recovered it. And David rescued his 2 wives. Nothing was missing. Nothing was missing. Whether small or great, son or daughter, spoil or anything that had been taken. And so that'll let you know the Most High already had them protected, man. And that's how we're going to be in these days. Some of us are going to be protected. The ones that is elected to be protected, hey, they're going to be protected because nothing can happen to you unless the Most High grant that to happen. I want to continue verse 19. David, and Slacky in 18 was the key point. That's the key point of what I had, man. It was a picture of David. And I may be able to get it at the end of this video. Because I'm just trying to get through this story. So that I can edify, the sheep, man. So the key was David recovered all the Amaleks and Amaleks had taken, and David rescued his 2 wives. Nothing was missing, whether small or great, sons or daughters. So that was a beautiful thing. Nothing was missing. Spoil, or anything that had been taken. David brought back all. So he brought back all of it. David also, and in addition to that, David also captured all the flock and herd, and the people drove the livestock before him and said, "This is David's spoil." So, hey, he was talking about, hey, them the Amaleks, man. Just as it getting ready to happen again. Them spoils of Esau, Edom is going to be our spoils, man. Just as David did then, it's going to happen again. Then David came to the 200 men who had been too exalted to follow David, and who had been left at the brook Bezer, and they went out to meet David and to meet the people who were with him. And when David came near to the people, he greeted them. Then all the wicked and worthless fellow among the men who had gone with David said, "Because they did not go with us, we will not give them any of the spoil." Hey, see, so when we in this truth, man, hey, do you want to receive the spoils, or do you got to put that work in, man, and you know what you can do, how much work you can put in, and it's a marathon. You don't want to exalt out your whole power, in one day. You gotta change these things out in increments, man. That's what he said, man. he said you weren't gonna get the spoils, man, because you did not help. Because they did not go with us, we will not give them any of the spoil that we had recovered, except that each man may lead away his wife and children. so he could take his wife and children. So you looking at, these men was so exhausted they didn't have no. What is your inspiration, man, in this truth? What is it for you to do? Why are you in this truth? Are you gonna be exhausted, man? I mean, all of us gonna be tired, man. And I'm trying my best and asking the Most High to give me the spirit to constantly, and dwell in this truth, man, because it is a lot, man. It's exhausted. Sometimes it's exhausting, man. Except that each man may lead away his wife and children and depart. But David said, you shall not do so, my brother. With that, the Lord Yahweh has given us. He has preserved us and given into our hand and band that came against us. Who, verse 24, who will listen to you in this matter? For as he shared is who goes down into the battle, so shall his share be who stay by the baggage. They shall share alike. And he made it a statute and a rule for Israel from that day forward to this day. Hey, so they try to say, oh, that ain't the rule, that ain't how it's go. That ain't how it's supposed to be. But David said what? He made it a statute and a rule for Israel from that day forward to this day. When David came to Ziklag, he sent part of the spoil to his friends, the elder of Judah, saying, here is the present for you from the spoil of the enemies of the Lord Yahweh. It was from those in Bethel. See that? There's a Bethel at the top, man. So if you look at Ziklag, where that is, and then you look at Bethel, and look what that is. Let me see if I can open it up a little bit more. And you can see, from the top, from Ziklag down at the bottom to Bethel at the top, a little bit further. So that those spoils was all the way up to Pad, and you can see Jerusalem. I don't have a marker, but you can see Jerusalem. I'm gonna leave it up as I speak, and I'm almost finished with this chapter. Okay, I want to continue with chapter 1 Samuel 30 verses. I want to continue with 26. Here is the present for you from the spoils of the enemy of the Lord Yahweh. It was for those in Bethel and Ramoth of the Negeb, in Jatar, in Arero, that's I believe how you say it. So like if I'm jacking it up. In Simmoth, in Estomah, in Rachel, Rakal, in the cities of the Jerubbaalites, in the city of the Kenites, in Homara, in Boshan, in Ethak, in Herbaran, for all the place where David and his men had roamed, man. So those all the places that he roamed. So if I just go by and click each one of them, there it is right there. Aurora, slaves, spoils there. Jatar, right there. Shamil, that's a little bit. Look how far that is, man. From where they was at. Shalakia, let me take. Look how far that was. all the way over here, man, from where everybody else was at. So he was sending the spoils everywhere. Where he said, "Well, the places David roamed at, you know, a couple more, and they all in the same vicinity." But hey, King David had the spoils, man, and the Lord blessed him. You know, he prayed into David prayed into the Most High, and the Most High gave him, you know, the power to take him, man, to take him. And it was a beautiful thing how David went into the Most High and prayed. You know, right here in verse 7, and David said to the priest, you know, I'm going to skip down. Oh, here it is in verse 8. And David inquired of the Lord Yahweh, shall I pursue after his band? Shall I overtake them? He answered him, pursue. You know, that prayer. And that's what we got to do with men of the Lord, man, all the time, is continue to pray. Continue to pray and hear the voice of the Spirit with wisdom and reading, and hopefully the Most High give us the Spirit and the power at the end, man, the spiritual power. But as I said again, you know, the title and the lesson of this lesson is so-called white man and all the other heathens. We are the hopeful elect are coming for our wives again, man. I mean that all our precious jewels, man. A lot of men name their things are precious after their women, man. Your car, if you own a boat, you know, you name them women name most of the time because they're precious. So it's not just our physical wives that we want back, man. You know, we want our wisdom back, which a lot of brothers are getting that wisdom back now. You know, wisdom, Sophia. You know, we want our wives back, man. So hopefully you, brothers and sisters, was edified. To the next video, I want to say, Call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh by Shem Kakadash. Also want to give double honors to the elders and apostle of Great Millstone. And then I want to salute my brothers, YSO, Yahweh Shai, sanctified ones out of Nashville, Tennessee, and the men, women, and children that's in this truth. That we are the 12 tribe of Israel, from Judah all the way to Issachar, the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Hispanics, and the speckled birds. I also want to continue, to push as much as we can, Akim. And this is for the elect. I wanted to do this for the elect, man. You know, just do a video to motivate brothers, as and you know, this thing is not easy, man. But like I say almost on all my videos, man, surround yourself around the council of wise men. The brothers who've been in this thing for a long time. And so that these brothers can lead you and guide you to the best of your ability, and take their leadership and their experiences to heart, man. Take it to the mind, because they wouldn't tell you if they didn't go through it. They wouldn't tell you if that you need to not do this and not do that, or do this or do that, because they done been through it. So again, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. We always gonna give all praises to the Most High, man, because what He do for us. I want to conclude by saying, Shalom, Israel, Shalom.